How's it going, guys? So today we're going to start mowing our Triticale spring forage crop. In a few days, hopefully we'll be filling that big silo right there. We'll start mowing, see if we get this stuff dried down in a few days. It's Saturday morning, about 7:30. It's supposed to get sunny out about lunchtime today, breezy. I want to get out and check how the mower's doing. I want to speed up the remote for the lift. Just turn this knob to the left a little bit. That way it'll pick up faster when I pull this lever. Rained a little bit overnight, so it's all wet right now. Appears to be doing a good job. So we have some aggressive crimpers in the mower. Just checking how the stalks are getting beat up by those. I can adjust them tighter if we want to. This is a disc bind. It's got these discs that rotate, these little knives that do all the cutting, throw it up through those rolls there. Got these metal rolls, pretty aggressive at crimping and beating the crop up. See, before it goes into the mower, got these nice straight stalks, and then once it's done, just beats everything up. Yeah, I might tighten them down just a little bit, see how that goes. We call this stuff Triticale. I guess the official way to say it would be Triticale. It's a cross between wheat and rye. We like to grow it a little bit more than rye because it yields a little better. It's got a wider harvest window, so right now there's grain heads that are growing up through these stalks. And once those grain heads will start popping out of the top of the plant, then your feed value really drops off. With this stuff, we could wait another week or two even to cut it. Still wouldn't be too late, but the forecast looks good and we're ready to get rolling with it. It's gonna be a very heavy crop, should yield very well. The way we open a field, we make a back cut. So I gotta go around driving the crop one time, going this way, and then we'll come back the opposite direction. The mower will be able to pick up my wheel tracks there because it's forcing the feed this way. If I would try to mow it the same direction, it wouldn't pick it up. Now we're going through the other direction. I went around the field 4 times. Now I'm cutting through the center. The nice thing is I can follow my fertilizer tracks, make sure I get straight pass through the middle. Normally I can run in range C gear 4, which is 8 miles an hour, but I can't even get into 4th gear. I'm staying in 3rd, going about 6.5 or 7. It's working the tractor, getting all that crop through those rolls. Sun's starting to make its way out. That's a good thing to see. It's almost 9:30 now, so in 2 hours I got about 15 acres mowed. It's about as good as I'm gonna do, 7-8 acres an hour. We got a little issue, I don't know if you guys can hear that. The back tire on my tractor is just moving in a little bit against the frame. Where the fender there, it's rubbing. I'm not sure why it would have been loose enough to move. Definitely getting a little worse, so I need to go in and we'll try to address this quickly. We loosened that up and just slid it out a little bit. Just supposed to be a little gap there, not much of a gap. The seat just randomly started losing a little bit of air on me. We had a leak the one time in the one hose. Well, I found a solution. Just took a couple couch cushions that we had from a junky old couch, jammed them in around the seat. Seems to be holding the seat up pretty well right now, so I'm gonna go keep running. we're going again. I don't hear that rubbing with the wheel anymore, so that's good. At first I thought it was something with the mower, which was concerning me when I heard that noise. My seat isn't really working out too well. I packed these cushions in there trying to support it a little bit, but it's still kind of down against the floor. I just wrapped up that field there. 30 acres mowed so far. It's about 12:30, so with the stoppage I averaged about 6 acres an hour, so it's not quite as good as I was hoping. My dad's running the tedder. We're renting that thing. Just spreading it all out so it can dry in the sun. Just after 5 o'clock now. Got over 60 acres mowed. I'm across the road. Home farm's right there. Some of you might remember in the fall we had planted some triticale a little later after soybeans. That was that field right there. I left a little gap between the stuff we had planted earlier in the season and the corn stubble. I'm not going to be able to get it all mowed today, so I wanted to mow the more mature stuff first. Can't really tell a difference from here, but if you look closely, the grain heads aren't quite as far up in that stuff on the left there. Just going to mow everything down that direction. Tedder was giving some trouble. They had to get a new shaft or something. The slip clutch kept going, but I think it's working now. Hey guys, so it's Monday morning now. I mowed about 100 acres on Saturday. Yesterday was pretty cloudy, but breezy. And I'm gonna get started mowing again this morning, try to get everything finished up. We got a beautiful sunny day today. Silo builders are working. Another concrete truck pulling in right now. I mowed 100 acres since I greased the mower. So we'll grease it right away here and then get going. Mower worked really well for me on Saturday after we had that issue with the tractor. Nothing else gave me trouble. I opened up the hood Saturday night after I got done just to let the engine cool a little bit better. Seems to help heat escape better when you shut it off. I always wonder if the tractor's really hot once you shut the engine off. You don't got the cooling system running anymore. The engine could get really hot at that point. People say to open the hood up and it just lets more heat leave. Knives are all looking good. I didn't change a single one on Saturday. Hit a rock or two, but they're still mowing well, so I'm not going to change anything. Get some fuel in the tractor. I kind of feel like a cool trucker in this seat, sitting down low. All I need to do is get the shifter up here, so I got my arm up like this. That's the type of look I'd be going for if I wanted to be cool. I would have put a cushion on top of the seat. These cushions are a little too big. I'm feeling very good today. Beautiful sunny day, and I think we're gonna get this crop dry enough. Silo's ready to be filled. I think tomorrow we should be able to chop. I'm starting at this rented farm now. We got 30 acres to cut this place. Here we have some cereal rye fields that I sprayed 2 weeks ago. Gonna be playing corn in here once it warms up a little bit. I would say the crop at this farm isn't quite as heavy. We planted this a little bit later and we didn't drag line manure over it like we did the stuff around the home place. I think that gave it a little boost over at the other farm. This is still extremely heavy. Really nice looking stuff. And we got a lot of sunlight and a breeze going right now, so it's gonna dry. Now I'm back right across from the home place. This was the field that was planted after soybeans. Just gave it a couple more days to grow, but now we're gonna mow it and see how much that stuff on the right's already turned brown and starting to dry out. This stuff we mowed Saturday evening. It's definitely drying on top, but it needs to be tedded again, I think. That green stuff underneath. I made it to the last field now. Just got this little 3-corner to finish up. That's all the mowing we have to do for the year. No more alfalfa hay this summer. Maybe we'll do a few more acres next year, the spring crop, but 2 days is all we need this mower for now. Probably won't take too long in the video, but that took me about 25 hours to cut everything. It's 6 o'clock on Monday right now. Tomorrow we're planning to start chopping probably around lunchtime. Going around checking these fields. Let's see how the stuff's drying. My dad's running the tedder still. He just hit this field for the 2nd time. This stuff's probably, I'm guessing, in the low to mid 60s right now if we would chop it. % moisture, so it's getting there. It's gonna need to dry some more tomorrow until we can chop it though. That tedder's a beast. 8 stars, about 35 or something feet wide. Quite a machine. There's definitely plenty of green there still. No. I agree to ted this all again. Wednesday, like the Weather Channel says 17% chance now.
Okay.
This crop is so heavy, we don't always hit it twice, but going into this big silo, we want to be safe, make sure we're plenty dry. One thing we have going for us is we haven't had rain in over a week, so the dirt's kind of dry underneath. If you just recently had rain, you're kind of battling that moisture from underneath. This silo is pretty much ready to fill. We got to get the unloader up. We're going to do that tomorrow morning. What I want to work at now is getting this ground set up so we can bring tractors through, try to get it level for the blower. This summer we're planning to concrete this whole area in front of all 3 silos, and it'll be nice and level then, but we just have to make it work temporarily. Pretty much just need to fill that in so it's level with this footer, so that way the blower can sit flat, the wagons come in level. It's the next morning now. I just finished up the milking. I got this area pretty nice last night. I want to go in the silo and get this unloader set up, make sure everything's ready to go. We need to lift it all the way to the top. Just want to make sure everything's set up the way we want it, because once we're up there we can't do anything to it. Got our camera right here. We want to make sure that's pointing the right direction so we can see everything as well as possible. It's already in the fill mode. We have that center glancer piece. Feed's gonna come straight in the center at the top and hit that, and then it'll be running, so it'll rotate in a circle and throw that feed out to the outside edges of the silo. So this wheel's on a spring, that needs to be loose. I already have that done. This is the gooseneck that's just swung out of the center. Once we go to empty the silo, we'll put this to the center there, and that'll throw the feed out the edge. That wheel is pulled in already, ready to go. And then this piece slides out and hangs on the door. Just need to tie this to make sure it doesn't slide out when it's at the top. Ideally, I would just have a bungee cord to go right there, but I don't have one on hand. Need to make sure these switches are in the right place. The little toggle switch is for the ring drive motor, and then the big switch is for the main unloader motor, the big guy there. I want this off, just want to run this small motor on the edge. This is gonna keep the ring running. I've never run an unloader with a separate motor for the ring drive, so that's gonna be nice to have. So while we're filling, the auger and the fan won't be running, it'll just be that ring drive motor. I think everything's good to go. I'm gonna check the camera to make sure that angle's correct and turn the unloader on to make sure it's running like we want. So I got the unloader running, the ring drive's on, the main motor's off. Just gonna slowly rotate like that. We'll check this camera yet. Got the monitor plugged in now. Basically all we want to be able to do is make sure that the unloader's still spinning and still at the top of the silo and feed's coming in and everything. Once the silo's getting fuller, I'm going to want to be at the top still to watch and make sure we don't overfill it. I'm not sure we have enough feed this week to get it full, but gonna raise the unloader now. Got that switch up. It's gonna be a slow process. This will be the last time we see that floor. Need to make sure all the doors are closed. Everything's good up that way. I got 3 to close here and the one over there. We already have the winch in high gear. Just gotta switch that belt over to there. Once we go to feed out, we can run it even slower when we go to lower it. Starts to speed up a little bit as the cable gets wound up because it's basically gearing up every layer. Still got a good ways to go. Last door to close. You can double check and make sure everything else is correct. One time in one of our other silos, we forgot to close one of the doors. It was that one stave silo there. And so the feed smashed it down and it was packed in really tight. We had to cut a bunch of feed out to finally get it out of the way. Definitely recommend avoiding that. Now I'm gonna climb up to the top so I can see when the unloader gets there and we can know when to stop it. Made it to the top. Still got about 30 more feet to lift it. Here's where the power cord's attached. Just has it hanging from the hexapod there. And then the cord goes out through the wall. And I'm realizing we have to bring our cover up for this box. Got the weight of the cord hanging on that lag. We stuck into the concrete. Silo builders are getting the forms ready. It'll be 88 feet there now. The silo kind of blocks some of the fields, but we have a big field over there. I mowed that first and then moved around this way. Mowed those fields. One there and then across the road. All this. And the farm that I was mowing yesterday we rent is over there. It's drying, we're getting there. Be raking it up soon. Yeah, turn it on, just hit the on button, make sure everything works. Yep, that's good, it's working. We're set now. That's all the higher we can go with the way that gooseneck is setting over there. That would hit that pipe there. So you can see how the cord wraps up. It just, as it raises, it just folds over on itself on these little metal rings. We wouldn't really be able to go up any higher either because this cord, we can maybe go 8 more inches, but then the cord would hit that. Next order of business now is to get the rake hooked up to the tractor. We rent this rake from the guy who does our custom harvesting. It's another machine we don't have enough use for to own one. I'll get the disc bind unhooked and we'll put the rake on this tractor. I think my dad's gonna run the rake a bunch. I told him to bring a pillow out so he has something to help him sit a little bit higher.
Calves to sell.
Oh yeah.
And
got that all set up. The custom harvest crew is planning to be here at 2 in the afternoon. It's about 10 a.m. right now. This is the stuff I mowed first on Saturday morning. About 30 acres on this side of the lane. I think it'll be down under 55%. And then once we get over there, it's gonna start getting a little bit wetter, probably towards 60. Hitting the ground a little bit on the one side, I'm not sure. All right, everything was looking good except this outside edge, I guess. Got a flat tire there. I don't hear any air leaking, so we'll see what happens. Might run all day until it runs out of air again. That looks a lot better. I just went to the hardware store, picked up some garden hose. We want to run water in at the blower. They just started pouring the second ring of concrete for today. We have a water hydrant right there. So it's about 150 feet, something like that, over to the silo. This summer we're planning to dig a trench and put water in right near the silos there, but we don't have that set up yet. Also grabbed a pitchfork. We're gonna need that for leveling the silo off eventually. I'm not gonna pull the water hose across yet because the concrete truck's gotta drive through there. We'll just bring it around right over to this side then. So we have this cable wound up all the way and we're right down to where the cable splits into 3. It goes down from the top of the silo as 3 cables and then they join to 1. So we just brought it the whole way down right against. It's kind of nice not to have to wrap that around the reel there. I think we're ready to fill the silo, so I just wanted to check this stuff again, see how it's drying down. I'm feeling good about this. I think it's in good shape. I'm gonna go grab some lunch and then they'll be here to chop pretty soon. I have everything ready to go for filling silo. Dad's raking right there. He's got all these fields done already. I'm cutting the plastic back for the corn silage bunk. Probably get started mixing feed if they don't show up soon. So we got a bunch of spoilage in this bunk right now. We had a hole in the plastic from filling. We wrapped the walls, the piece that seals up that corner, that got damaged when we were filling at this spot. Still waiting on the custom harvest crew. I got the dry cow feed batch mixed up. Running this out right now. Just started the milking cow batch. Loading in the spring forage from last year out of the one stave silo we have. So this is what the stuff we're chopping today is going to look like after it ferments. It's awesome feed. Put 1,620 pounds in this batch for the cows. I just got a text from the guy doing our chopping, said they'll be here in 10 minutes. So we'll let the feeding go till later. All right, there he is. I got to get the inoculant for him. So we got a liquid inoculant that I mixed up that goes in the chopper. It's gonna help with fermentation. It's gonna slowly dribble it into the feed as it's going through. It's got an insulated tank on there. It needs to stay cold because it's live bacteria. Don't want it getting all warm there right beside the chopper engine. Here's the unit that's supposed to be able to get it up there. We got a new engine on it this year. He's had this power unit for a long time, but his cooling system wasn't working as well, and he decided just to get a new engine. He's got a better cooling system with a reversible fan, like 250 horsepower or something like that. All right, I was kind of out of breath when I got up here. Working, 132 feet, dry, fluffy triticale, no problem. That's a good feeling. They were telling me it was gonna work, but it's good to actually see it make it the whole way to the top. And our lane's working down there. Looks like they have plenty of space to get in there with the tractors. I'm not sure what he's doing right now. He's running his reversing fan a little bit. Now I don't need to climb the silo the whole time to make sure everything's working. That gives you some peace of mind.
That does.
That's nice.
That definitely does.
The unloader's just slowly rotating in there, shooting it out to the edges of the silo, filling it evenly. That's some dry stuff. Seems like with this feed being so dry, it's not shooting off of that glancer quite as fast. It still is pushing it out towards the wall, but when we're putting corn silage in these silos, it's definitely going to be shooting in more of a line off of there rather than kind of just bunching up. You want it to pack around the walls. It's going to give you the most even packing rather than piling up in the middle. So I climbed up in the chute a little bit. Once this cart is done unloading, I'm going to open this door. We'll see how the feed is looking inside the silo. Wow, it's actually working really well. It's all piled up against the side walls, and then it'll fall in towards the middle. It's not shooting off that glancer piece fast, but it still is making it out to the side walls. You can see it's up high there. It's a pretty steep drop way down there to the middle. I finished mixing the milk cow batch. We'll get this run out now. He's got 3 carts running, and his goal is to keep that blower working constantly. He was having to go a little bit slower at first because of how fluffy this stuff was. Now we're getting over here. I think it's getting a little bit better now. Just a tiny bit of moisture helps it feed through the chopper better, and it's still plenty dry. They've gotten 30 or 35 cart loads in the silo now. They're able to be pretty efficient with 3 carts. Chopper's rolling all the time, and the blower's moving all the time as well. Checking out the unloader every once in a while, make sure it's still spinning. It worked out well as far as getting the crop dried down. We were trying to err on the dry side this year just because filling the silo for the first time, I didn't want a bunch of juices running. Be hard on that new concrete. It's only 2 months since we poured that concrete. The last 2 days here got really sunny and breezy and just dried plenty. Probably a little bit drier than it needs to be, but the nice thing with those silos is it's gonna pack so hard, it's It's gonna force that oxygen out. If we were filling bunker silos with this dry stuff, that would be a challenge because it would be so soft, you wouldn't be able to pack it very well. So we wanna make sure we get some little bit wetter stuff on the top though. That way it'll kinda compress everything down a little bit better. I'm gonna work on the milking schedule for next month. I need to get that done. I'll just be around here to keep an eye on things. I'll just be in my office drinking sodas and watching farming YouTube videos. It's been a while since I've had one of these. It's been an entire day. Getting some of this out of the way. Piling up. I rode in the chopper for a little while. It's 10:45 now. Just checking on the unloader, make sure it's still rotating. It passed 70 cartloads now, so it's a good amount. I don't know how full the silo is. This is the inoculant that we're running, Crop Guard Protect. It's got all kinds of good stuff to help get the forage to ferment properly. I'm gonna hand this to him once he comes to a stop. Still running in the mid-50s moisture-wise, so plenty dry. It's coming in slightly wetter now. It's got dark. There's a little bit of dew laying on it. It's also the stuff we mowed. the end of the day on Saturday, so it didn't dry at all Saturday. Seems to be blowing a little bit easier, and you can see how it's hitting that glancer and kind of shooting it down rather than just piling up like it was earlier. Glad we had that dry stuff on the bottom, but this is great for the middle of the silo. Definitely gives you some peace of mind being able to check on this from the ground. Those of you who didn't see my last video, we set this conveyor up right here. This is a temporary setup for the summer so we can feed out of this silo until we get our robot feeding system going this fall. We got 2 silos to fill in the fall. There's eventually going to be a long conveyor from this silo through to our feed room, which is in that room, along with 2 other silos with conveyors going into that room as well. This is a spring crop, so we wanted to have the silo ready for the spring. We wanted to be able to use it. Just needed a temporary way to get it into our feed mixer for the summer. We are almost done with the stuff that I cut on Saturday. Got some more laying, but we're gonna wait till tomorrow or Thursday to chop it. That's all we're gonna do for today. They just wrapped up for the night. It's about 1 o'clock. 99.5 loads off of 100 acres. I'm happy with that. And the moment of truth, how full is the silo with 100 cart loads of feed? Way down there. All right, I gotta count the rings now. We got 10, 11, 12 rings left, so that's 48 feet. Too much math for 1 in the morning. 48 off of 132 is gonna take us down to 84 without settling at all. We just got done filling it, so yeah, we got a lot of capacity here. That's a good thing. I did not know what to expect. Thought maybe it'd be a little higher than that before it settled, but we still have 60 more acres to harvest, so if we get another 60 loads off of that, we're not going to be full. It's definitely not going to be full. But that's a good thing. That means we got room to grow. Next year we can do a few more acres, push the yield a little bit more maybe, not worry about overfilling this silo. I might wrap this video up here because got a lot of content. I'll pick up tomorrow in the next video. Appreciate you watching. It's been an exciting day. I was a little bit nervous this morning going into this. Wanted to make sure we're going to be able to actually get feed into this silo if we're going to go this tall. And it's clearly not going to be an issue for us with that field line blower and the power unit. And our custom guy, he never filled a silo this tall either. He was told it was going to be fine, but it was a relief for him as well just to see it actually working right. So very pleased with how it's working out. It was a really easy job today. Once we got going, didn't have to worry about silo getting too full or bags switching to ag bags. Kept moving, very efficient harvest. That's 100 cartloads. That's what it takes to fill our center bunker silo, our bigger corn silage bunker silo. So that's a lot of feed. Might be a little over half full, not much over half full though. Keep packing as we add feed on top of that. I bet by morning it'll drop 3 rings. Okay, thanks a lot for watching, guys. See you in the next one.